All right, nothing else heard. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Weekly Net, which runs as let's start off with. This is Tuesday, the 6th of September. Correction, not Tuesday, the 6th of the December. Listen to me there. The 4th of September, Sunday evening, 1900, and we begin with the Weekly Net, which runs on a Sunday evening for approximately an hour. The purpose of the net originally was in order for us to get people together who had an interest in emergency communications. However, due to COVID-19, we did move it over to COVID-19 and various other bits and pieces, whatever we feel is necessary that needs to be discussed. I'd just like to remind everybody that everyone is welcome to join in and to participate on either the amateur frequency or on Zoom. And of course, for our radio amateurs out there that are listening, please, guys, be aware of the fact that, of course, you do not need to be a member of any group or entity or otherwise to join the net. The only thing that you, in actual fact, do require, of course, is to have a paid-up ICASA radio amateur license, which, by the nature of that license, grants you the permission to use the repeater and any other amateur bands without requiring any other permission or authority moving forward. Okay, so on that note, let's just move on and have a look and see, what it is that has actually happened in the past week. Firstly, I think, let me clear the timeout timer. Right, Z6 OPS returning. Let's look at the COVID-19 figures. Quite an interesting week, I must admit, globally. COVID-19 figures are sitting at 604 million and 70,180 reported cases. This is an increase of approximately 3.4 million cases, new cases in the last week. It also means that we've seen a decrease in new cases as the average over the past couple of weeks has been around 5 million. However, at one point we did also drop down to the 3.5 million mark. Now, it is possible that several companies may have adjusted their testing and reporting protocols. As we saw, South Africa actually carried out the same scenario, and they moved from a daily reporting to a weekly reporting. The death toll globally is now at 6,494,441, which, funny enough, is only 8,700. That's what I said. 8,700 new deaths or deaths in the last week. Much lower death toll. However, this does not indicate that COVID-19 is sort of over, as the sixth wave is expected to hit us. So let's quickly move on to South Africa, because in the last week, this has been an interesting statistic. We've seen a major increase in new cases and deaths according to the week 34 weekly testing summary, which is based on the data collected up to the 27th of August 2022. Whilst the positivity rate was still at 4.1%, which was not much higher than the previous week 33 or 4%, the numbers over the past 3 weeks are as follows. On the 17th of August, we had 253 cases, new cases reported in the 7-day rolling average, or not average, on the 7-day period, with 84 deaths. On the 24th of August, South Africa reported 206 new cases and 18 deaths, which in actual fact was a decrease of 47 cases of COVID-19 being reported, and a further 66 a decrease number in deaths on the previous week. The 31st of August, ultimately, let's clear the timeout timer. Okay, week 34, 31st of August, new cases reported 1,279 and 24 deaths. This is an increase of 1,073 new cases and an increase of 6 deaths on the previous week. Both the NICD and the World Health Organization have this week reported that the sixth wave of COVID is expected early in October. It would seem that South Africa's sixth wave may have already begun. It is, however, expected that this new wave, or the sixth wave, may be fairly mild, as there are no new variants having been reported worldwide. So we may, in actual fact, get away with low numbers in comparison to what we experienced, in particular during the second and third wave, not only globally, but locally as well. Moving on to monkeypox. Monkeypox is still on the increase globally, with the total global figure now standing at 53,420 cases having been reported. And I must admit, I still cannot find a suitable dashboard reflecting the total number of deaths, unfortunately. South Africa's monkeypox cases are still sitting at 5. And of course, that I do know that there have been no reported no reported deaths due to monkeypox in South Africa, and therefore not much more to add with regards to monkeypox. And as the saying goes, no news is always good news. Let's hope it stays that way. Now, I think the biggest news of all is what has transpired in Afghanistan. During last Sunday's net, I did report that they had, due to the monsoon season, experienced some severe, and I mean extremely severe, flooding due to the monsoon season, which has seen 600 and 800% increase on the average of rainfall compared to the same period of last year. And that is between June and which would have been the 31st or the end of August. The net result of this, Pakistan in particular, look, Afghanistan, while it has been affected by the flooding, they've only had a death count of just over 100. However, when we look at Pakistan, on the other hand, 1,100 people have lost their lives due to, and I really mean, raging flood waters. Okay, ZS6OP returning. So with a death toll of in excess of 1,100 people in Pakistan, I think the greatest problem that they are in actual fact going to have, we've got to look at the socio-economic aspects of Afghanistan itself. Are they in a position to recover financially, or is the population living on a decent sort of wage, etc.? And in all honesty, the answer is no, they are not. Now, the latest bout of flooding that is up until sort of Thursday, Friday of this week, meaning the 31st August, 1st of September, 1,600 kilometers of roads have been destroyed due to the flooding. 400,000 houses have been destroyed. 500,000 people are currently displaced and have had to be set up in emergency shelters. Now, guys, I don't know. I said it last week. I don't want to use the term global warming. At the end of the day, we know that even the South African weather pattern has changed. And as South Africans, I still believe that we should prepare for events such as this. If you take a look at what happened to KZN in April and again in May, those people in Tongaat and surrounding areas that were affected by the floods have still not recovered. They have still not had water restored. So literally 4 months, 3-4 months later, there are still areas that are without water. My question to you is, how would you, as a listener, cope without having running water for this length of time. And I think I'm going to actually close the net on that note. But before I do that, I want to find out of those that have called in, are there any questions or anything you'd like to add? ZS6OP is standing by. Okay, nothing else heard there. Let's see if there are any further late check-ins. Anybody else want to add their name to the bottom of the list? ZS6OP is standing by. All right, no further check-ins. Guys, I'd like to encourage you to join us on Zoom as well. A bit of visual contact is also quite beneficial. We can tie that up with the radio amateur side. And then, of course, share the word. Let people know about the net that is run on a weekly basis. Feel free to join in and to participate. If you don't have the Zoom link, of course, share the number, my cell phone number. I'll give you the number in a minute or two. Share the number. They can contact me and I can add them to a list. And, of course, send out a reminder on a weekly basis that the net is about to start, or that it will in actual fact take place. And then, of course, non-radio amateurs are more than welcome to participate, as this net is not specifically for radio amateurs anymore, nor is it designed for disaster relief CERT volunteers in its entirety, but a combination of radio amateurs, disaster relief CERT volunteers, which of course is the Community Emergency Response Team volunteer structure. And then we have decided to include all other members of the public that are more than welcome to join us, in particular via Zoom. On that note, for the week coming forward, as I said, even though the global figures may very well have decreased, I'd like to remind everybody, for the safety of those around you, especially the elderly, who, if they do contract COVID-19, they may be susceptible to some serious illness, if not death. Therefore, please wear a mask in their presence, physically distance yourself, and for your own safety as well, sanitize your hands on a regular basis. Therefore, of course, for the coming week ahead, be safe, be prepared, and of course, be happy. This is ZS6OPS, actually with a very nice background on Zoom this evening. I think it's got something to do with Bridge Over Troubled Waters. I think that might be referring to Pakistan. Have a good week. ZS6OPS, bidding you all 7-3. Have a great week. I'm now releasing 145.625 for general use. Cheers all.